Daily Tanya for Wednesday is page
By the way, Rabbi, just for your reference,
92. Yeah.
the problem is not on our side because we can turn the volume down all we like, but that's still what happens is you're maxing out. In other words, when at certain volumes on your end, we can't hear your words clearly. And that's something on your end, not our end. And we can't get rid of that by simply turning down our volume because you're getting sound saturation. That's what it's called in the art, I believe. So we'll live with it. But I'm saying Alan is exactly right. Somehow the controls, there's something wrong with the controls on your end, and maybe that will get fixed by tomorrow. Who knows?
Zoom background noise. Visible.
Go, Rabbi. Go.
All right. Yeah. I don't know. This is beyond my pay grade.
Okay, that's fine. Just wanted to let you know it's not
Okay.
it's not us. We can't just simply get rid of it by turning down our volume, but we'll live with it.
All right.
It's better than
Let's see what
as
happens.
Alan said, it's better than not having you.
Yeah. Okay. The longer a person reflects on these matters about crushing his ego, both in his own thoughts and by delving deeply into books which speak of these matters in order to break down his heart within him and render himself shamed and despised in his own eyes, as is written in the scriptures, so utterly despised that he despised his very life. Don't try this at home, kids. The more he despises and degrades thereby the Sitra Achra, casting it down to the ground and humbling it from its haughtiness and pride and self-exaltation. With it exalts itself over the light of the divine soul's holiness, obscuring its radiance. Give me the dollar. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. He should also thunder against the Sitra Achra with a strong and raging voice in order to humble it, as our sages state. The sage said you should incite your Yetzer Tov on your Yetzer Hara. What does that mean? You sick it like a Rottweiler? What does that mean? It means that one should rage in his mind against the animal soul, which is his evil impulse, with a voice of stormy indignation, saying to it, "Indeed, you are truly evil and wicked, abominable, loathsome, and disgraceful," and so forth, using all the epithets by which our sages have called the Yetzer Hara. And you continue on with your rhetoric against your Yetzer Hara. How long will you obscure
My
the light?
initial reaction is he's totally wrong.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'll stop.
Objection noted. How long will you obscure the light of the blessed Ein Sof? Meaning, my animal soul, how long are you going to, you uncontrolled animal, how long are you going to obscure? You're not being an animal soul that is just about, self-preservation and, that you're going a little too into this obscuring God, and you're obscuring the light of the Ein Sof, which pervades all the world, which was, is, and always will be the same. Even the place where I stand, just as the light of the blessed Ein Sof was alone before the world was created, utterly unchanged. Meaning, God is here in full glory, and yet the fact is I can't emotionally connect to that is due to some level of animal soul interference beyond its, norm, and therefore I'm trying to put it in its place. As it is written, I, the Lord, have not changed, for he transcends time, and so on. But you, repulsive one, and so forth, deny the truth which is so plainly visible, that all is truly as nothing in his presence, a truth which is so apparent as to be visible to the eye. In this way, he will help his divine soul, enlightening its eyes to perceive the truth of the unity of the infinite light of Ein Sof, as though with physical sight and not merely through the lesser perception of hearing and understanding. For as explained elsewhere, this is the core of the whole divine service. So this contemplation to break the self-centeredness and blocking of the animal soul on God, you call out these names and stop trying to distract me. Now, Alan made a very good point. This does not seem to jive with today's psychology.
Rabbi, quickly here. I've never.
You call yourself names. You call your Yetzer Hara. So, right?
I've never heard they use those on and on and on.
He just quoted all the Gemara. He's bringing it to one stream.
Yeah, but you will do that.
So I want to say something, but I just want to find out if I'm saying the right thing. I gotta just see if the um um uh I'm not sure. I heard and okay. Okay, I have to really do more research, but if I'm not mistaken, I heard that the Rebbe, our Rebbe, said that this part of Tanya is more toned down nowadays. You would not use this critical name calling to your bad side. And I just have to back up that I heard this once. I just want to see the source, but I can't find it right now. That we're a lot more fragile today. Since we're a lot more fragile, you can't just call yourself names and think you're going to then be like a normal person. So I think the Rebbe did. I have to double check that this was written for then, this approach, and it's less applied today.